when I mean mate, your financial. So the relationships and how things will work is very contextual. And how it works is the power dynamics and the power gradients between the husband and the wife. And we'll still get back to the word husband in a bit. I have just 10 minutes to make my submission. So the guy is working in Mobile. The woman is a primary school teacher. There is a way the guy will talk that he can get away with. But the woman is even more expensive, is even more powerful than you. That house is going to take a lot more cunning and a lot more, gymnastics to keep it, because traditionally the brain we are all carrying ensures that the male provides for the family. I'm not saying what is, I'm saying how our brain is. That is why even women, they are more comfortable with the man that is richer than them, and men are less comfortable with the woman that is richer than they are. Not because they are insecure, it's just the brain we carry. Every woman wants to relax and be taken care of. It is economic realities that is causing silly questions as to who pays the bills. Evolutionary wise, the man is supposed to protect and provide for the family. But that is evolution. We are talking of reality and economy. But we cannot divorce the two. If we divorce the two, we will be answering half of the question. So evolution wise, the man is wired mentally to provide. Now, I want to link us to one statement. Everybody is always talking about that statement. Wife, submit to your husband. Now, there's a very key, everybody is always focusing on the word submit. I'm not interested in that one. At least not too much. The one I'm interested in is the word husband. Not just because you are married to somebody does not make that person your husband. The word husband is a noun, but it's also a verb, just the same way like the word pilot. To pilot something is a verb, but you can also describe somebody as a pilot. So it's not everybody that wears shirts that is a pilot. Are you getting me? When you call somebody a pilot, the description of what that person does. Oh, this person enter. So it's not everybody inside the plane that is a pilot. Some people are just air hostess that have muzzle. Now, a pilot is a specific description that this person goes to the front of the plane, closes the door, and the plane is flying. The same thing, husband. Husband means one who takes care of, one who covers, one who manages, one who So that's why in the Bible, Jesus said, you are the vine, and my Father is the husbandman. There's also something called animal husbandry. Animal husbandry means one who takes care of animals. So when you say someone is your husband, it's the description of a role. That's who takes care of me. So the fact that you are married to a man who does not take care of you, according to the definition, that person, I stand to be corrected, is not your husband. It is hard to submit to somebody who is not your husband. It's almost impossible, really. So the key word is not to submit. The key word is, are you doing the role of a husband? So that said, have that established. But we can't just carry our ancient brain and say, oh, you are living in UK. In fact, two income self, on a never pay on a mortgage. Both of you have to work. That is, so you are now bringing the ancient brain to the modern world, which is basically what. But as much as it's possible, men, hustle low, maybe I don't give everybody more, give you cocoa, say more is for VIP. Hustle low. Evolutionary wise, if you want a stable home, a man takes care of the home. I have been married for 11 years. I'm married to a boss lady. When I say to a boss lady, my wife is hard, she's tough, she's a woman. Right now she runs our business with more than 30 staff. But 3 months after we got married, I lost my job and I was jobless. And she was the one that was working in Airtel. So I'm not telling you what I've not gone through. She was working in Airtel, at least in Abuja, and I was without a job, waking up and eating and pressing phone. So it happens. And she was the one paying the bills at the time. But that structure is skewed. Oh, you are sharing it and it is skewed. Such homes don't last long. All this one that guy that Dr. Paul is complaining, you pay me 50,000. It's because that guy has not his hand has not touched pepper. All I beg, just go, take this $500,000 and don't disturb me. That is why when rich men they chase other women, their wife no they really leave them. I'm talking of normal women. I'm not talking of Bill Gates' wife and all those people. Why? Because women want to be around strong men. It's just so if a woman wants to leave you, that means you are not strong enough to hold her. And she should leave rightfully. I don't have any problem. Let her go and meet. So that woman that wants her husband to pay her 50,000, let her leave that man. I'm not talking of the religious, whether it's proper or not. Let her leave and go and meet her size, the one that can, but you are earning 100,000. Your wife is earning 100,000. In the real sense, biologically, she's not your size. A woman that is earning 100,000 should be married to a guy that is earning like 1 million. You are earning 80,000. Instead of you to go and look for a young girl that is earning 30,000, so that you will be able to cover your family, so that you are at least the stronger and the protector in the family. You are dragging leg with somebody that you are both of you are equally protector. Those houses collapse quickly. Not because one person is giving person nonsense and stuff, but the structure does not align with our ancient brains. I'm not saying people cannot work it out, but it becomes very difficult when two people with husband mentality are married. So who will be the wife? Wifely duties means you are taking care, it's tendering, it's nurturing. A husband can do the wifely, a man can do those duties. Just the same way a woman can do the husband, and in that house, the woman is the husband. Because she's the one taking care of everybody. If she's not at home, the home is scattered. So in that union, the woman is the husband. It is not a bad thing. I'm just saying in unions, one usually protects and while one nurtures. So anybody can, because some people say, oh, Dr. Kola is old school. No, anybody can be any of those roles. And I think my own view said is a bit more, progressive. Anybody can be husband as long as both of them are satisfied in their roles. It's fine. I know families that it is the mother that is the hustler, and the father is there, just drink his tea, read his paper, and he does not have problem. That's why I said everything is contextual. But that's not the norm. Usually because of men, aggression. But anybody can play that role. The woman can be the provider. As long as the guy is fine, fine. And the man too usually is the provider, but the woman can be the provider. As long, so it's a contextual thing. If you are not happy with it, find your size. Don't spend the next 40 years of your life trying to manage something. You are disgruntled, your wife is making more money than you are angry, you are lashing out, you are trying to inform. Women only submit to somebody that is performing husbandly duties. That's why some pastors, they protect those women emotionally, so they will need help for their pastor, but they will not need help for their husband. Even though that one too has its own issue. So that question ab initio, should we pay 50-50, is evolutionary inconsistent with the brains of Homo sapiens. But the context, if it comes up, it makes it very difficult because it's a bit off with how our brains are wired. But you can work through it, but you will need to understand what it is and be able to work. It's very hard. It can be done, but why do the hard thing when you can do the easy thing and finding your size? Believe me, find your size is my own. So if you are a lady earning 200,000 and your husband too is earning 200,000, it's good though, but try and push so that everybody can, at least the man too, he will have more muscle and can be earning 500,000. But not that when he's earning 500,000, he will now go and carry one Orekelewa. But Orekelewas will come because this guy is now earning more. It's just normal. Women want the guy that is strong and powerful. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my submission. If you have questions,
thank you very much, Dr. Kola. I mean, that was powerful. My job here is to moderate, but I really cannot resist, to insert my own thoughts on this. And before the questions and before Madam Ellen, talks, there are some things I would just want to in rebuttal. I mean, just my feedback really for Dr. Kola. So, I mean, you started out with talking about, evolution, survival instincts, is natural. And, naturally, a man is meant to gravitate, towards that role. And that even though you could have, women playing the husband role or doing 50-50, but it might not be the norm. So my response is this. Um, my background is psychology, yeah. I know that there are two drives, that in any human life or in any life really. There is the eros and there's the tetanus. The eros, will be the survival instinct, and the tetanus, I think, is the death instinct. And those two are always in play, usually in conflict, but they are always in play. And I think it behoves on the human agent, the person where those two are happening, to uh, direct or decide or determine, which one, thrives more than the other. But at any point in time, there's a death drive, and that's why you see sometimes like people are moved to violence, or you see societies or human beings, that are moved to things that may not necessarily, guarantee survival. That being said, the concept of norm is an evolving concept. It came from sociology and culture. It's comes from cultural norms. Culture is evolving. It changes, from time to time. For a very long time in human development, um, the currency is energy. Who has more power? You know, and that dictated a lot of things. Hence, the patriarchal system that human development have followed for a very long time. But you will see that that is changing. The richest guys in the world right now are not the strongest ones, and in that sense, I think a lot of things are changing. For those of us that I've been looking at the Ketanji Jackson. I hope I got the name right. You know, she was nominated to be the next Supreme Court judge in America. And one of the questions I was posed to her, was who is a woman? How do you define a woman? And she couldn't, come up with any answer. And it's because the concept is changing. At the backdrop of this, of some of those things that I've said, maybe Madam Ellen should respond, and then we can take questions after. Madam Ellen, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Babatunde. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
thank you.
I think I've also learned a whole lot sitting here and listening to Dr. Kola as usual. I totally agree with Dr. Kola that from the beginning, like the Bible says, it was not so. In the Garden of Eden, God created man and gave him the responsibility to work. And then he brought a woman and said to take care, to support as a helper to the man. And from there, the role of a woman has changed and has kept evolving, just like the role of a man has kept evolving. Despite all the evolution that has happened, there's something that has not changed, and that in a marriage relationship, the man is the head of the home. Now, when we're talking about who pays the bill, like I said last week, it's clear, it's good to define what the relationship is at that point in time. Is it just two friends? Is it boyfriend, girlfriend? Is it a marriage relationship? Because who pays the bill in each of these situation depends on what the relationship is in that at that point in time. We are wired as by the things that happen in society. We are wired by the way we are brought up. We are also wired by the circumstances and situations we find ourselves. And so I'm assuming that because there are lots of young people here, maybe we will start from the concept of, if I'm in a relationship that is not yet a marriage relationship, who pays the bill? That on its own, it's a different ball game. Who pays the bill depends on the dynamics, depends on the agreement and every other thing. But then if it is in a marriage relationship, lots and lots of things come to play. Dr. Kola has said rightly that the man should take the bulk of the expenditure, and that was in those days. Like I had a situation once, the compound I lived in, my landlord was working somewhere, and the wife was doing house, just taking care of the house and the children. And one day she came complaining, or we're discussing, and she said, my husband never enters the kitchen. to do what? And I asked her, what is he coming to do in the kitchen? And he said, she goes to other places and sees where the man is with the wife in the kitchen and they're cooking. And I said, if I were your husband, I will not come to the kitchen. And she was like, why? I thought you said otherwise. I said, no, I won't come to the kitchen because I'm providing all the money. And so if I'm providing all the money in the house, then your duty it is to take care of all the other chores in the house. Because I go out in the morning, I come back late in the night, school fees is me, children, food is me, clothing is me, everything that has to do with money. I'm the sole breadwinner. And so I expect you to take up the other angle. But then things have changed in time, that those roles that were traditionally left for men has become the roles that women are excelling in. Take, for instance, our offices. I'm not sure there's any unit that you go to anywhere you won't find male and female almost at the same level. And if you're in development work, you know that just like the man will look at his computer all day and has close of business or opening of business deadline, the wife has that responsibility too. And so what happens? And so the concept of paying the bill for me extends more than I want to buy something and you bring the money in. The concept of 50-50, or like I said last week, it doesn't have to be equal, it just has to be equity. If I'm bringing in more money, if I'm earning more money, I should bring in more money to support the home. And that also goes the other way around. And then while we are bringing in money equally or in a principle of equity to support the home, then we also need to look at the other side of the bill, which is the home chores. So I earn 50,000, my husband earns 50,000, and we agree, okay, 25,000, we are bringing the money and putting it together. It shouldn't end there. We should come to the house, and then we should also share the other house chores. I'm cooking, you are sweeping, you are bathing the children. I'm going to the market, you are helping me to do other things in the house. And so when we have these things, the issue now comes up with maturity. Husband duties. I've heard today, I never knew that husband is not who is husband, is who plays the role. So a woman can play the role of a husband. But I think that when it comes to the home, that understanding, that basic understanding that we are in this together. You play your part, I play my part. So those roles that were traditional women roles, if a man is expecting, or rightly, it's not that a man is expecting, in a marriage relationship or a committed relationship, if two partners love themselves and are matured and understand what they're doing, it's not just about who pays the bill when it comes to finances, it's also who pays the bill when it comes to the things at home. How do they join hands together and make things work? You'll find out that the marriage is where one person pays the bill and one person does, the other person doesn't, is not happy because for whatever reasons, that understanding is not there. Might probably feel that the house chore the chores in the house are too much, or the husband is doing nothing. You find a relationship where the woman is working, comes back, takes care of the children, cooks food, and does all of those things. And just because we agree that it's 50% of the money that we bring in. So I think that ultimately, in a committed relationship, be it marriage, be it whatever relationship that is committed, it takes understanding. It takes people putting everything on the table. It takes everyone understanding that it's about equity. What can I do to ensure that this works? Especially where you have dependents. It's not just about two people now. What of the dependents? What can we do? I've been in a situation, I had a friend, and for years, both of them were working and bringing in money. And incidentally, the woman was bringing a little more because she was working, she was doing business while the man was a pastor somewhere. And then one day, the girl became very sick. And prior to becoming sick, she will bring in the money, she'll go to the market, she'll come back, she'll clean the house, she'll take care of the children, she'll bath them, get them ready, and the man will take them to the school. And school run, he goes, brings them back. And when she became sick, I looked at it and realized that she had beaten more than she was able to chew because the man was doing virtually nothing in the house and he was bringing in little. And when she became sick, he had to start waking up in the morning, getting the children ready, bathing them, making food for them, and taking them to school and bringing them back. And when she was strong enough, I called her and told her, look, you cannot come and kill yourself. You bring in money, he brings in money. Now, this household chores that he has started doing, waking up early in the morning, let him continue to do that. When you wake up in the morning, go and make food. When he wakes up in the morning, let him pick up his children, bath. That way you begin to balance the relationship, begin to balance both the money you are bringing in, balance the chores. Sometimes you can't even balance the money because if there's a bill of 100,000 and the man can only bring in 40,000, or one partner can only bring in 40,000. The other person that can bring in 60,000, whether it's the man or the woman, has to bring it in to ensure that things work out. And so when that happens, it's only right that the other things that was traditionally left to one person, they should begin to understand and collaborate and agree on how to make sure that those areas do not suffer. So I think that's where I'll stop for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Helen. What I hear is that the rules are not. No, I mean, it's evolving. I mean, that's what I heard really, and that the context. Even Dr. Kola too agreed with that. Only that he said that it's not the norm. The context should be considered, and that is not as if it has to be fixed. And evolution, I think, is also something that she has agreed with. So, Dr. Kola, do you want to say something before we open this to the audience?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Madam Helen. So there were some assumptions I had, when I was making my submission, because I had assumed that the relationship we're talking about is husband and wife. So the 50-50, you have a girlfriend, and so it's like a slide scale, because when we are, so the 50-50 I mentioned was in the context of husband and wife, not in the context of boyfriend and girlfriend. And if heaven help you, you are not married to her, you have not even proposed to her, and you are asking her for 50-50, that doesn't make, I don't know, God heavens help you. So thank you, Madam Helen, for making that clarification. What is the 50-50? Both of you have just seen yourself on Instagram. You like yourself picture, I like my picture. Before you see, send me a recharge card. Don't be that one that they talk. That one, if you are simping, you're on your own. I'm not. You just spend your school fees on a girl, and the girl will leave you for a guy that is driving jeep and is ready. Till tomorrow, women will marry the person that is ready rather than the one that is professing love. 85% of women will not wait because men now will always show them. So let's just. But thank you for clarifying that. Now, all these 50-50, we have to situate it, and I'll just be very brief, in the context of the larger happy home setting. Do you want to win an argument, or do you want a happy home? And it's always a very fluid situation. So the role of the man, while at times the man, if he has sense and he has wisdom, he may not even be bringing the money, but he brings a safe environment. He brings a safe, a safe space in the home where he does things. So at times the wife may even bring more money, and maybe the wife is pregnant, or the wife has been recently put to bed. Madam Eli mentioned one word: equity. This woman has carried a baby for 9 months. She's breastfeeding. They did tears. They've opened her tummy. As a man that has sense, that is performing the role of a husband man. Remember, you can be married to her and you are not her husband. Her husband is outside. But if you are the real husband, so I'm not going to waste time on this one is dating this one is dating that one. I don't care. I mean, you can do anything you want to yourself. If you like, pay for her school fees and let her run and go and marry Canada man. It's nobody's business. I'm not going to waste my energy. And a lot of people waste a lot of energy on social media. Oh, this girl, you are dating. You are not married to her. She doesn't owe you jack other than just considering your effort. She's not tied to you. You can only say, okay, let me consider your effort. So I'm not going to waste my energy on dating. I'm going to put my energy on people who at least now are committed to each other. Otherwise, it makes no sense. If you are not married to you, pay your own bills. I mean, are you getting me? We are not married. Pay your bills. Why am I paying your bills? Why am I paying 50% of your bills when we are not married. So that's on one hand. But on the other hand, you want a happy home. So equity makes and I can give use myself as an example. We evolve. When we first got married, I told you I've been married for more than, I mean, this is my 11th or 12th year now, 11 years, to the same woman. When we first got married, when she's sweeping, in fact, the whole house is one room. So there's even no swagger. The whole house, everybody is hearing is one room. Why she's sweeping, occasionally I can, wash plates and cook. But as I was growing, now I have children that are old enough to wash plates. How plates go to reach me now? Are you getting me? I'm just saying, but you want to, so the role of that husband in that family evolves over time. But as you progress, you want to provide a sense of safety so that you have equity. So as the woman has, so you have also to go and work. You now finally come back after 1 week. It's not that time they say, my husband, go and wash plates now. That's not the way it works. Because this woman too has been carrying baby. When it is night and baby is crying, a man that has sense that is the husband will carry the baby and say, my wife, sleep. Let me pet this baby so that the baby can sleep. Incidentally, a man's chest is broad and it's easy for baby to sleep. Men may not be useful for anything, but at least they can carry baby. So when you do that, the woman feels safe. Oh, I've been working since morning. My husband too has gone out. I have a baby. So it's more of a concept of equity. So that one doesn't feel like I'm giving too much than I'm getting out of it. And so as you do, and the concept is you prefer yourselves more than each other. So I want to please you, you want to please me, it works well. But once one is grabbing, hey, I want to get, oh, it's 50-50, then you might as well not be married. You might as well just go and look for a surrogate and pay the woman $50,000 and get married to her. So it's not about, oh, you have a ledger. She sweep floor. Oh, me, I must wash plate. Hey, she wash plate. Oh, I must clean the window. Not be so. You want a happy, safe space. You want to be seen to be giving more than you are taking, both for the man and the woman. The man should not say, yes, I'm the man. Oh, yeah, wash plate. At times, they are not in the house and it's only you. You clean the plate, maybe once in 3 months. I'm just saying. And if you're alone in your village, I work in Lagos, my family is in Akwa Ibom, I should go and call somebody to go and wash plate for me. You wash your plate. But when I now come back to my house, I would expect, oh, okay, I have somebody that is helping this. But if it is only you and madam, because you don't want to carry ledger and say, I won the argument. You want a safe space, and that's the larger picture that we should not miss. And you want to, so while she's doing this, you are not writing and say, this is the exercise book. You swept the floor 3 times yesterday. You want to put in more than you are taking out. That way, the emotional balance in the family is healthy and it's in the positive. Otherwise, it will crack. Because once it doesn't work, everybody goes their way, and you don't want that. So it's not about 50-50. It's more about equity. And everybody does not feel like, they are putting in more than they are getting out of it. So I wanted to say that. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Kola, for that. The chats are on fire. Okay, so do we have questions? Do we have people that want to make comments? Are there feedbacks for the moderators? I mean, for the speakers? You could just raise up your hands or just say it, really. Oh, you can help me out here. Do you have people that want to make comments? Feedback to what the speakers have
said. I think okay. I think Joseph's hand is up, so maybe we just give it to Mike.
Okay. All right, Joseph. What is yours?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So I just want to speak from maybe 1 or 2 stories I've heard and some that I have witnessed in my little niche. We have seen people who, from relationship to courtship, they seem to be very supportive of their partner. But once they get into marriage, everything changes. Or once they discover that the man is making a lot of money, everything changes. The entire support is cut off. So the man now sees a woman who, for example, is trying so hard to not support as she used to support. So the man tries to also bring in wisdom. Okay, if I was doing 70, if we're doing 70, 30 before I met you, I married you because I probably felt you were going to support me in that regard. But now I've married you and I'm saying that you're not even doing 10% anymore. You are not doing any, probably because of advices from friends, because of your nonchalant and all that. The man is now doing 100% and it's becoming too burdensome, probably too much task or too much things that need to be done. And the man is worried. How am I going to continue like this? Because for some persons, the premise under which I married you was because I felt you were going to support, both in times of need or in times that I really need that level of support. But now the man is not getting it anymore. 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years down the line, the woman doesn't bring in anything. And then you get to find out later that, okay, probably she has some projects she's doing or she's doing secretly without information and all that. How do people handle such issues when the person you're married to has become a stranger and no longer supports like she used to do? In such situation, how do we get out of it? I think that's my question.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
maybe we'll take Dr. Kola's opinion on that. For me, I mean, I would say that's false advertisement.
I'm laughing already.
But Dr. Kola.
A woman is number one. I can see two wrong, pardon me if I use that word, wrong premise in the statement. The first thing is, I'm marrying you because I think you will support me. That is the mentality of a male that should not be allowed to mate. And the offspring, and that person just dies, and the genetic material leaves the human pool. Why will a man want to marry somebody so that that person will provide? You're the man. I'm not saying you, but you can't have that as the basis for marrying someone. Oh, I'm marrying her because she will have money. Shame on you. You should not be allowed to even marry. And left for me, it's just that nobody is going to allow. Only the people that are worthy of being called men should even marry. Ab initio. Just like in the animal kingdom. Because if you are marrying just so that you will not do your manly husband duties, then be the wife somewhere. Now, that may be a bit hard, but at the point a woman also very scheming, I mean, we've watched too many home videos and we've seen too many stories on Instagram. She has schemed and she's building a house somewhere. Then she's not even the wife. She's not your wife anymore. Because a wife nurtures. A wife does not damage you. A wife does not, stab you in the back. A wife protects you. So there's nothing that communication will not solve. If you notice that the woman is holding back, maybe the woman is also holding back because she does not feel safe. You too, today Cecilia, tomorrow Amaka, the day after for Folake for the night. Maybe she's also not comfortable and like this bagger. Small time now, all these girls will collect. But I'm assuming you want a happy home. And if you notice that the person is drawing back, call the person. Don't assume. Call the person and talk. What is going on? I noticed. Don't insinuate. Don't use body language. And she will pick it. When I don't eat her food for 3 days, she will notice that. Stop that one. Eat the food. Or call her and talk. And when you talk to the person, you open yourself to the person. There are times when you want to spend 100,000. It's the woman that will bring 90,000. But she trusts you that the day you have 500,000, you give her 450,000 inside. It is give and take. It is never black and white. The shades are more than 50 shades. So the issue that is somebody, but believe me, by the time a woman is building a house secretly somewhere, you are no longer her husband. I don't have any problem. You leaving, I'm going to marry someone else, making sure, especially for children. You can, I don't. The major headache is the children itself. But at that point, that woman is no longer your wife, and you are no longer her husband. She probably has another husband somewhere. And how do you deal with it? You talk, open up. Otherwise, if it's not changing, go look for your size. I'm always using that analogy. Look for your size. You want to be Lion King. You want to go and carry the wife of the Lion King. Look for the small lion that we agree for you, and stop disturbing yourself. Okay, look for your size. I use this analogy as I close. if you see a stable marriage, and there's always a gradient where the man is protecting. Serena Williams is a superstar, a mega tennis star. She's worth over $400 million. That is mad bastard money by any standard. For her husband, something on Narcissus, that is all over $2 billion. Janet Jackson, with all the she married a guy, an Arab guy, and she was tying hijab. Why? Because the guy is worth maybe $10 billion. When a man is the person in charge, the woman, no matter how Americanized or what she is, when she sees better money, she will behave. So when you are saying, she's not giving me, Oga, go and hustle. She's not allowing me to know, we want to spend 100,000 and she has 80,000, and I only have 20. Oga, go and look for your side. Anything that she gives you is a privilege you are enjoying, and you cannot complain. All you can do is maybe just engage, but otherwise, you can't complain at that point. Just look for your side and move on. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kola. So, I mean, the question really is, and I think that's even, the meat of the matter. The real question is it that men are just created with a bill of payment, from heaven, and then they look for somebody that can fit into that, bill of payment, or are these things cast in stone? On the top of my mind, Dr. Kola had mentioned, two very successful women, that still look for, more successful men. But of course, I also know there's Rihanna, that I think she's the person she has a baby for is definitely a lot poorer than her. So the question, Dr. Manamelin, is it that men are born with a bill of payment and then they look for somebody that can fit into that, or things are changing?
Babati, I think maybe I'll just add a bit of perspective to that question before Madam Helen answer the question. There's a statistic that shows that largely due to the reason for the increased rate of divorce currently, we had the statistics that almost is at 50%, almost globally, in 2022. It's because women are becoming more financially able and independent. So does that play a role? And then I saw a comment from Dr. Julie. Is it how do we even balance this so that one doesn't feel like he or she is being used? There have been cases where a man will say, "Oh, I want to be a traditional man," be like Dr. Kola. Dr. Kola is a very traditional man. You believe in the norm. You marry the lady. You even train her through school. And then you've tried a conversation, you've brought her to the table, but how do you balance this? How do you balance a situation where someone else doesn't feel resentment 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, the conversation is not even helping, like you've brought her to the table. How do you balance this? And also, how do you balance the statistics that shows that the reason why we have more divorce is because women are becoming more financially independent?
Okay, thank you, Paul and Babatunde for the questions. It's a difficult thing to answer how you balance that, because we are humans, we are different, we are made from different molds, and we have different needs. Now, looking at the issue of divorce being more now than when years ago, because women are financially dependent. Let me just bring a small story I was privy to be part of. I had a friend when I was in Owerri, and the husband was doing fairly very well. At a point, she was out of job. It was difficult to get any money from the man. The man was doing very well. His way of controlling the wife was by not giving her money. And so immediately she got into a job. She had one old car she was managing for years. Immediately she got a job. The man bought her a new car and was very free and was very happy. And what was he looking for? To be able to control her own money. Incidentally, we were on a project together. When the project ended, she even had to come to me to give her a loan. And the man, if I call the names, those of you from Imo State will know the man, doing very well. And so you find out that for many years, women have had to bear things because they did not have any form of financial muscle. And so when you find a woman that has a financial muscle and probably have seen the things that others have taken and she feels, I can't do it, you find out that many women are able to walk away, not because it's not the money that is making them divorce. It's because now they can have a say. They can have a decision, make a decision as to how they want their life to be. Now, the Bible says that the love covers a multitude of sin. Love. There's no how two people will be in a relationship and there is love. When there's love, the lines become blood. The line of you are bringing equity, you are bringing, we are talking about 50-50, we are talking about 70-30. The line becomes blood wherever there is love. Now, in a case, maybe let me use my own example because many of you are familiar with my story. I got married, remarried, and then after a couple of months, my husband's project finished and he was doing consultancies. But in all of this period he was doing consultancies, I used to have issues even with the way he was spending money. What do I mean by that? If my husband is doing a consultancy, this is how much money is coming. From the very beginning, I know that this is how much is going to come out from this. And most times in my head, I will expect, okay, as the money comes in, Oga, just hold the money, take care of yourself, take care of your needs and all of those things. But the moment the money comes in, my husband goes and all of those needs we had in the house, he carries the money and puts into it. And now, why will I now have my own money and keep it, hide it? So it's a question of understanding love. The question of understanding that at this point in time, this is the person providing. Most times we find out that sometimes the issues we have is, especially when a woman is providing. Why do we have that? Because what a man, some men would normally have taken as a joke if the tables were turned, if the man was the one bringing the money, what they would have taken as a joke because she had said something, the first thing that comes into their mind is, okay, maybe it's because she's the one providing. And that small thing becomes a big issue because of the issue of ego. And so when we begin to understand that we're in this together, it is our home. It's working, it's not working, we're in it together. Now, marriage is about covering each other's imperfection. I'm not sure that we have two perfect people that go into a marriage. It's about two imperfect people that have come together. And most times, the way God blesses us in marriage is that He brings someone who has a strength that we don't have. And by the time we critically look at our strength and our weaknesses, you find out that my weakness is most likely when my partner is strong. And so if we bring up ourselves and decide that we are in this together, whatever resources we have, whether it's financial, whether it's spiritual, whether it's emotional, we'll bring them together and build up ourselves. And so if a man understands that my partner is providing, or the woman understands my partner is providing, and it's a blessing from God, and brings up submission and brings up love and brings up filling of the other gaps that would have been normally in the marriage, I'm sure that that's one way of balancing it, understanding that it's all about love, it's all about maturity, it's all about understanding that if you take your partner as yourself, then this is myself. So why will I be abusing myself in the course of a marriage relationship? Over.
Okay, that was very wonderful
Yeah,
insight. I think
very well said, Madam Ellie. I mean, we said she's a very wise person, and that speaks for itself. Yeah. Paul, you want to add something?
not really. I think we should just get to the tricky question part where the panelists choose a question because we're almost at the end. I know we will not be able to exhaust everything today, and we can have a part 3, except we have a very large pool that suggests otherwise. But then we'll just have to move to the tricky question parts where the panelists will choose a number, and then so Babati will take that part, and then we'll just run off from here.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. All right. I mean, if I could say, something as a summary of this, everything that has been said, really, I think you just find what works for you. You really, I mean, for people that are dating, you really cannot be dating somebody in SS3 or part 1 and you are working and you expect them to pay the bill. No, really, that will not work. And in marriage, I think you just find what makes you happy. You get, you need to just find, what makes you happy. Yeah, and then I mean, what makes your marriage work, I guess. So these are the questions. The panelists are meant to pick one of these. You don't need to explain your answer. It's basically a yes or no. So I have 6 questions here with me. The first one is this. So please just listen to the
Okay,
numbers
so
and
Babati,
questions.
they will pick a number. So they should pick a number.
Okay,
There are
number
6
and 9.
questions. So
Okay, so we have
each of
from
them
1
have,
to 6.
yes.
Okay, so we have questions from 1 to 6, and then you can pick a number. Each of them have 2 chances, I guess. Yeah, so Dr. Kola, Madam Ellen, you have questions 1 to 6. Pick a number, and then we ask you, and then you respond. Thank you.
I defer to Madam Ellen to start first.
Dr.
You have to
Kola,
prepare
please start
others.
for
Ladies
her.
first.
Okay.
Chivalry is not dead, people. Chivalry is not dead. So yeah,
Okay. So I'll start
Madam
from
Ellen.
number 2.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so the question goes thus: have you ever had a conflict with your partner before about paying bills?
No. My current partner, no. Hello?
Okay, I think Babati is having an issue with his network. Okay.
Yeah, like I said.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes,
can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Like
yeah,
I said
yeah.
initially, I said the answer is no. Like I said initially, we are 2 people that understand ourselves, understand that we hold the resources, we hold the key to being happy. And so at any point in time, whosoever holds, there have been times that we've gone out to eat and then he said, let's go out, and we've gone there and his ATM did not work. There's always something I carry. I call it Vex money. I'm always my ATM card and I bring it out and I pay. We've never had that kind of conflict.
All right, thank you. That's a very rich response, especially when you said your current partner. Dr. Kola, it's your turn. Dr. Kola, are you picking? Dr. Kola, please pick a number.
Number 3.
1 to 6, but number 3. So number 3 says, yeah, now, if this was your last words on this program, would you say you are pro 50-50?
A man that cannot provide for his family is worse than an infidel. A man that cannot cover his home is not fit to procreate. They should actually castrate them and make sure that
Shaking.
See, wait.
those useless genes do not go
I
on
mean,
to the next generation. So thank you
I'm a
very much.
moderator. I'm not supposed to insert my thoughts, but I mean, the question I'm always asking is it only money that somebody can give in this world?
No, but it's most of it. Money answered how much?
Almost everything.
Okay. All right. I hear you. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Thank you. Madam Ellen, back to you. 2 and 3 have been taken. Do you want to take one more question? From 1 to 6.
Yeah. I'll go for question number 5.
Okay, so 5 says, does your partner know all your streams of income? Including tips. No, I know you don't take tips, but does your partner know all your streams of income?
Yes, he does. I have only one stream of income, so he knows.
You don't do crypto?
No.
All righty. So, Dr. Kola, over to you. One more question. One more number for you to take.
I think question
2,
4
3, 5 have been taken.
if it's still there. And I think, and if I can just answer Madam Ellen's question, for people to think I'm one devil, my wife knows every 10 kobo I make, and I have like 3 or 4 streams of income. Every kobo she knows. There are some that will enter them that I want to hide. She knows, so I'm not even hiding. There's transparency and openness. Number 4, please.
Yeah. I guess the response is there is strength in innocence. I mean, there's safety in innocence. I mean, or transparency. So number 4, is there a limit to the discussion of finances in marriage?
Hello.
Did you hear that, or should I go
Um,
through it again?
I did. Yes. Is there a limit
Okay.
to the discussion of finances?
Yeah,
Abi?
in marriage.
Yes. I think, believe me, one of the biggest things that causes wahala in marriages is money. And if you don't talk about money and you have secret, in fact, I'm sure women will prefer that you have secrets about other women than have secrets about money. If you are not transparent and open to your spouse about money, how do you talk about doing businesses? Your wife should be your sounding board, and your husband should also be your sounding board. I want to do this business, so what's happening? They're about to ban something. You talk. My wife is my business partner. We literally have a business that both of us are signatories, and nobody can remove money except both of us sign. Not because I don't trust her, but it's a business. So in terms of money, from where I stand, based on the dynamics of the marriage, you should be as transparent. But where you are Zaddy, you are making multi-millions, and the girl is just going to Dubai. Why do you want to tell her about your deals that you have with Dangote Refinery? That one, the discussion is not at that level. But if you have that person that is close to you, and the dynamics is the gradient is not too much, I think it's wise to talk to your wife about money. And you also titrate. Some people, you talk to them about 500,000 that come. The next morning, you say, my husband, I saw one hair. Tomorrow, if 1 million enter, I will not mention anything again. So you use sense to do this thing. There's no, the answers are situational. But as much as possible, be as open as you can, that makes everybody healthy and happy. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for Dr. Kola. Thank you for all the nuggets that have been shared on this platform today. It's really a pleasure to moderate this or to be part of this, in the sense that I've been. Thank you very much. I'm sure we've learned a lot, including the price of surrogacy right now from Dr. Kola. Paul, I'll yield to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much to our moderator, Babati. That's been a wonderful and entertaining session. I could see a lot of engagement on the chat box. Sorry we could not take every comment. I think there's one last question that is in the tricky question. So this one goes to our both panelists just as a closing remark. So the last one said that, have you given someone money before letting your partner know? Have you given someone money ever? To someone money without letting your partner know? Without letting your partner know. So have you ever given someone money before without letting your partner know? So this question is for both Dr. Kola and Madam Henley to answer as a closing.
Okay.
So that I can give you the last word, even as chivalry is not yet dead. Now, I need to just quickly underscore something. And I'm not recommending it to everybody, but this works perfectly for me. There is my money, Kolawole Olatubosun money, that my discretion on how to spend it is solely my own. It may not be more than 30,000 naira or 300,000 or 3 million, but there is my money. Then there's also my wife's money. That money belongs to her. Whether she saved it, whether she sold gold, that money belongs to her. If she like, let her go to party and spray Kwamwan. It is her money. Then there's now our money. There's our money in principle and our money in fact. Our money in fact means we have an account that we use for business largely, and both of us have to sign before that money goes out. Okay? So that I won't just say one girl has shown me Ileke and I want to give her 1 million and say, okay, baby, freaky. And I deliberately make sure that the majority of the money is in that one that both of us have to sign. Not so that they will not come and use Ileke for you. And you say, freaky, put your account number here. The one that is my own money, if I want to do freaky, put your account, that's your business. The one that is also my wife's money, if she wants to buy gold or spray musician, That is our business. Then the one that is our own money, that one we don't remove money except both of us agree. But the one that is my money is my business. The one that is also her money is her business. Are you getting me? While I'm married to somebody, I'm also an individual, and we also have to celebrate and recognize that autonomy that you are a human being. You are not just missing somebody. You are also your Helen. You are Kola. You are being boy. You are on your own. So if you want to play musician, as long as it's your money, what's my own? Just don't touch our money. And maybe it's not everybody that has that our money part, but we have it. I have my own money. She has her own money. What she does with it is, I have absolutely no, I don't even know her PIN number, and I don't go snooping in her phone to check all what our balance is there. It's none of my business. And I think
Wow.
couples, as we close, should give themselves some privacy. It's not everything that you should know. You are not a God. There are some things you will tell God, she will not tell you now. And there are some things you will tell her friends, she will not tell you. And there are also some things you will tell God, you will not tell her. And you will tell her friends, your own friends, you will not tell her. So while we are married, we are still individuals. And I also think it expands to finances too. So that's my submission.
So, Madam Eli, is it freaky for you as well?
I don't know what freaky is. Before I say the one, I won't be able to
It's something we do with our prayer band in church.
Okay, so for me, unlike Dr. Kola, we don't have a joint account. We both have our different accounts, but I can tell you my husband's PIN. I can tell you how much is in his account, and he can tell you how much is in my account. We discuss that freely. But just like Dr. Kola said, I manage my money, he manages his money. So if we have a project, this is what we're going to do. You bring this out, I bring this out, and we do the project. And so I have on several occasions, as a Christian, the Bible says that what you are doing with your right hand, your left hand should not know. And so on several occasions, when I've had cause for charity, I've given out money without my husband knowing. But I will always tell him, but sometimes I might not tell him the amount. I can tell him, okay, so and so person needed help and I did help. And that sometimes I don't tell him. And the same thing he does, that sometimes he has helped people or used his money for whatever. He doesn't have to tell me. It's his money. He made his money and he can use it as the way he wants. So it's something. I totally agree with Dr. Kola. We are both individuals, even though we're within a marriage, and we are matured enough to know how to manage our finances. And so how we manage it, we only manage it to bring the support that the family will need at any particular point in time. But what we do to it is basically our discretion, and we're open enough to discuss what we do. Like a few places I've put my money, even if I give somebody loan, if you know I've given you loan, I'm reporting you now. If I give somebody 10,000 and say this is loan, when I come back, I'll tell my husband, I don't know what will happen to me tomorrow. Assuming I fall down tomorrow, uncle, and die, what happens? So I tell him, and so that he knows that you're owing me poor. So that money you're owing me. Amarachi, you're looking for my trouble. Babatunde, all of you owing me money. I've reported you.
So you are owing Madam Ellen, you are owing the family.
Wow, interesting.
Okay,
It's just
Paul,
this is the
you.
first time we are going beyond the hour. I mean the 9 p.m. mark. So just to show how interesting this conversation has been. So next week, just a quick one. Next week we'll be looking at social media, and we're looking at the different generation. We know we have Gen Z, Gen X, we have the millennials, and we have the late bloomers. So we're looking at the social media series. We have our social media guru in the house, Sharon, and then Wilson will be also coming in to help moderate those sessions. So thank you everyone for joining, and a big thank you to Dr. Kola and Madam Heli. It has been a very interesting conversation. I'm sure this conversation is going to continue outside this forum, but then thank you for the great insights, and it's been a pleasure having everyone on the call. So it's over and out from my end. Oh, yeah, but it's been a big, he has been a very great facilitator and moderator, and it's been awesome having him join us as well. So, Babati, you have the PIN to the account is 419012. Take notes. Good night, everyone, and have a beautiful rest of the weekend. Bye.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming and thank you for listening.
Yeah, bye-bye. Thanks.
Alrighty, bye bye.